Hello, this is Michael from League of Items, and in this video I'm going to compare the two most popular AD carry builds, built around GUINSOO'S RAGEBLADE and Infinity Edge. In order to give a full understanding of how these builds work, I'm going to dive into the cores, the component pieces, the build paths, and item efficiency. Then I'm going to consider which is better in the tank meta and hypothesize a new build. The most popular GUINSOO'S build costs a total of 8.7 thousand gold, returning 8.5 thousand in base stats and a potential ceiling of 12.5 thousand gold when returning max value from each item. When you have 6 stacks of GUINSOO'S and the passive, your 3600 gold investment gives 5,850 gold of power, or 163%. This is the primary reason Kog'Maw spikes hard once he completes this item. In lane, the goal is to finish Berserker Greaves and Recurve Bow, and then finishing GUINSOO'S as fast as possible. When the recipe changed to include Recurve Bow, GUINSOO'S quickly became one of the best items. Wit's End costs 2500 gold and gives 2700 gold in base stats. However, the real value of this item depends on how many AP champions are on the enemy team. In a worst case scenario, even if the enemy team deals full physical damage, Wit's End will still exceed value and approach 3100 gold. Runaan's Hurricane rounds out the build and is a strong choice because of its synergy with the first two items in the build. One of the key differences between these builds is the reliance on crit for Infinity Edge AD carries. The volatility of crit chance means you can get lucky and exceed value, but can also suffer greatly if a few consecutive shots don't crit. This core costs 8600 gold and returns 8100 gold in base stats. Once the 3 items shown are finished, the ceiling of this build equals 9200 gold, which should be finished around the 30-minute mark. Although Infinity Edge is cheaper than GUINSOO'S, most AD carries won't rush the item because of the need for attack speed in the early game, which an item like GUINSOO'S provides. This means the power spike is delayed closer to the 20-minute mark. Static Shiv and Rapid Fire Cannon both cost 2600 gold, and neither fully recoups the initial investment in base stats. However, both passives are strong, and bring the item back to level. These items also synergize very well with Infinity Edge, but not as well as the GUINSOO'S build. Now we can ask the question, which is better in a tank jungle meta, or in a game when you know the enemy has a tank jungler? When tanks become popular in the jungle, GUINSOO'S will allow AD carries to deal more damage in early stages of the game before the jungler can get past the Cinderhulk and Warmogs portion of their build. AD carries that build GUINSOO'S deal both physical and magic damage, and this balance makes it more difficult for enemy junglers to shut them down through itemization, because they need to build both armor and magic resistance. Crit AD carries are easier to deal with because you can build Randuin's Omen, which negates the bonus from Infinity Edge, while also providing health, armor, attack speed reduction, and an active slow. GUINSOO'S and Infinity Edge are currently dominating the bot lane, but there are other options. AP bot laners, Triforce AD carries, and Lethality AD carries have all been meta at some point. There are definitely matchups where you could send a Ziggs or Mordekaiser bot lane, but most players are afraid to play unpopular champions, especially in solo queue. However, I'm still surprised by the lack of imagination in professional play. If you know the enemy team is better than you, you're better off playing an off-meta composition to be unpredictable, as long as your team is good at it. With the increase in popularity of Unsealed Spellbook, I would expect an AD carry like Deft to play Jace AD carry sooner than later. With Unsealed Spellbook, Jace can start Relic Shield and survive through the laning phase with Overheal and Bloodline, as long as he has a support champion like Taric. If Jace becomes popular, he will most likely start with lethality items, but there is also the potential for him to go the tier route in an attempt to spike around the 20-minute mark. Keep an eye out for a future video where I give it a shot myself. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment with your best off-meta AD carry, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.